and try to find my definition of peace. And the best thing I could come up with, and I think it was influenced from other sources, is that peace is conflict without violence. In this life that we live, we cannot escape from conflict or rubbing apart or of ideas. This is our life, and it's a struggle. And Buddha says life is suffering, and so be it. So I go to war. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. I believe this is a very important book that any peace activist should read and soak in. It may sound confusing, but really the same strategies that we apply to war can equally be applied to peace, because it is in that conflict. And here is something that I would like to read from Sun Tzu. When asked how to cope with the great host of the enemy in orderly array and on the point of marching to the attack, I should say, begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear. Then he will be amenable to your will. Now, we must think of the military-industrial complex, the system that perpetuates war. What do they hold dear most? What do they need essentially to commit these acts of terror? And that is the people and money. If there's no one to pull a trigger, and if they don't have any money to spend on a trigger, they cannot make war. Supporting GI resistance is one of the three vital parts of ending this war. Because if you take away the people, they cannot start war. And I can tell you, there's no better satisfaction than going and taking a call on the GI rights hotline and hearing the distressed voice all on the other end, and being able to help them with that system of removing themselves from the matrix, and hearing their change tone at the end of the call. It's rough work, but it is blessed work. Going on to military posts and dropping literature, talking to soldiers. I see soldiers all the time coming into my work. I work at Magnolia Cafe near Camp Mabry. I always talk to them. I always stop them. I always stop anyone anywhere I go. Where's the dog tags? I'm sure you've seen, people all over town. It's become a bit of a fashion thing. Weird, but it's true. Confront. Talk to people. Because if someone didn't talk to me when I came back, because I came back thinking we did a good job, if nobody came and talked to me, gracias Alejandra, I would probably be still in. Non-military options for youth, the local counter-recruitment group here in Austin. Another avenue of removing their resource of human beings to perpetuate this war. And going in and talking to these kids is amazing. It is the exact opposite of going in and trying to talk to a politician. It's like banging your head up against a wall. And they say, okay, we're listening, and then off you go. But these kids listen, and it is a feeling of true revolution. Because these kids, they believe in everything that the media says. Their input of information is very narrow and small, and when presented with a opposite viewpoint, they actually take it in. They're in a school, they're supposed to be sponges and taking in all this information. And so far I got 10 notches on my belt of I'm going to join. No, I'm not going to join. And that's the body count I feel. Is vital, and it really, really gets underneath their goat. Let me tell you, when we table during job fairs or college fairs, we have the military recruiters on the other end, and of course I make friends with them. It's soldier outreach, and by the end of the day, they're not so happy with us because a couple of what they call DEPs, delayed entry program kids, went over there and told them they weren't going to join anymore. And I just replied, well, play the game, play the game. They told that to us in the Army, just play the game and you'll be fine. Follow the rules and you'll be fine. So I kind of give them their own medicine. Well, we give them their own medicine. There is a wonderful group of people working in non-military officers for youth here. And if you have time, please contact myself or Susan Van Heisman. If you can stand up, Susan. Raise your hand. All right. We can get to building this vital movement. And the top recruiter here in Austin was reported in the Statesman saying that we're having problems recruiting people because there's a strong counter-recruitment movement here in Austin. And I was thinking, we're only about 6 people with limited funding. Just imagine if we had 20 or 30 people and a couple more grand in the bank. We can demilitarize our schools here in Austin. Now, the other thing that some people say, the world is moved by money. Every time I get paid, get my paycheck, I take that federal income tax number, cut it in half, add $1 or $2, and I know that's the amount of money I just gave to the war. And since I've been downrange, I know what those real dollar bills turn into. They turn into real bullets and real bombs that kill real people. To think that just the soldiers are the ones who have blood on their hands is false. It's indirect, a very much more distant way of feeding the war that is really hard to see. And when faced with that we all, if you pay taxes, contributed to the horrors, not only in Iraq, but in Palestine, where we gave $30 billion to Israel, $20 billion to Saudi Arabia, the #1 human rights violators, according to Amnesty International. There's 1 or 2 in China, but they're up there. We have a military base in 141 other countries. There's only 190 countries on the planet. We spend over 50% of our taxes on war. That needs to stop. Religious Freedom Peace Tax Fund Act. It follows the same pattern of conscious objective that I got out of the Army as. You don't have to be religious, or you could put it on religious or moral grounds. And if this bill will come to the law, you can pay all your taxes. You're not getting out of anything, but you're assured that your money will not be spent on the Pentagon, CIA, NASA military projects. You will become a conscious objector fulfilled, because I'm not really a conscious objector on papers. The Army says I am, and I am in my heart, but on my paycheck I'm not, and that violates my religious